In the mountains of Galilee, Lebanon, and Horan in Syria, there live a strange people, the custodians of an ancient revelation. Where did they come from? What are their beliefs? And why are these beliefs conveyed only through initiation? For centuries, this people has been cloaked in mystery and secrecy. Today, they still embody one of the enigmas of the Middle East. The Druzos first appeared in Cairo some 400 years after the advent of Islam, caught up in the mystical and social currents produced by Shiism. There, in the sphere of influence of the University of Al-Azhar, in a city where Jews and Christians equaled the Muslims in number, a caliph, Al-Hakim, heralded in a new era. With premonitions of religious wars a century before the Crusades, his dream was to blend all faiths into a single, universal religion. His doctrine, founded on a belief in the unity of God, postulates a totally abstract divinity with none of the attributes that created beings generally ascribe to him. Thus, throughout his life, Al-Hakim strove to put an end to all forms of rite and worship, and even to destroy the sanctuaries of the three monotheistic religions. Through this gate, it is said, he would go out every night into the desert to meditate on his unitary teachings, the universal religion, stripped of ceremony and internalized. One morning, he mysteriously disappeared, and Hamza, a disciple of Persian origin, took over the work of the departed caliph. Hamza proclaimed, Al-Hakim, the 10th embodiment of God on earth, has not died. On the day of the last judgment, he shall reappear. From Cairo, missionaries left for the most remote parts of Islam, going even as far as India to announce the dawn of a new era. Among them there was a certain Darazi, who was to leave his name to Druzism. The Druzos, however, are convinced that they existed before the period of Al-Hakim, and claim that they are the perpetuators of ancient Gnostic orders, those recondite orders tending towards absolute knowledge of God. From the beginning of time, a chain of initiates, the depositories of the supreme revelation, passed on knowledge to one another. According to Plato, this knowledge can only be handed on to those who have been properly prepared to receive it. The great sage of ancient Egypt, Imhotep, the initiator of his pharaoh, and the creator of the first pyramid in Saqqarat 5,000 years ago, is thought to be one of the initiates the Druzos lay claim to, along with Hermes Trismegistus, Melchizedek, Pythagoras, Plato, and Aristotle. It was at the foot of Mount Hermon, in a remote wilderness in the Lebanon, that Druzism took root, among the tribes originating in Arabia and the Yemen. From the earliest times, the persecutions inflicted on the sect induced followers to practice al-taqiyal, enjoining them to comply with the religious tenets of the victor while preserving their faith in their hearts. This principle of conduct has been successfully implemented by the Druzos throughout their 8 centuries of history, which has always been closely tied to the Lebanese mountains, in whose shelter Druze clans and tribes strengthened their particularism under the rule of the emirs.